Original teaching. Experience brings transformation. Plato's Allegory of the Cave. The other side is more real than anything in this world. It's pure mental emotional. The other side of reality is pure mental emotional. The philosopher uses reason derived from the imagination of the soul to speculate upon the other side. There is a whole other reality beyond the physical that philosophers have never ever experienced, otherwise they would be mystics. Philosophy is soul's deceptive journey towards false enlightenment, book knowledge with no experience. In truth, philosophy is an educational belief system that actually prevents one from penetrating the veil and seeing the other side of reality, and places one in the mental planes after death. Plato was a philosopher, a student of Socrates. Plato is recorded as not having any experience with the other reality, while Socrates is recorded as being guided by an inner divine voice. A philosopher perceives the world by acquiring knowledge from books, and from other people who have read the same books and different books, whereby their imagination is stimulated, causing intellectual curiosity and critical thinking, as they drift off into a mental construct, a world of their own creation. But it's all speculation, an educated guess without any personal experience, because it is the intellect of their own souls that prevents them from experiencing life beyond the physical. Most philosophers believe that wisdom comes from the soul, and that we just need to recall the things the soul already knows. But wouldn't that be like reading another book? Philosophers are an effect of higher education, a dialogue between a man and a soul, whereby the man uses the soul's imagination to prove intelligent design, God. This is known as the fall of the righteous mind into the intellectual world of the soul of evil and good. Unable to see beyond the physical, philosophers use their five senses to discern the other reality by perceiving it through reason. What philosophers cannot understand is that they can seek truth and wisdom outside their own intelligence, ego. There is another reality beyond the physical which they have never experienced. Philosophy is another deceptive journey of soul towards false enlightenment and leads to the lower or upper mental planes. All the great philosophers like Plato and Socrates can be found on the upper mental plane. Thus, we can conclude that philosophy is just another mental deception of the soul to hold us here in the trap. Philosophy is an educational belief system that prevents one from penetrating the veil and seeing the other side of reality. Plato's Allegory of the Cave is believed to be a philosophical metaphor about enlightenment, whereas Plato's cave is your skull. Let me repeat that. Plato's cave is your skull. Kind of small. Couldn't have been very smart. You are inside the skull, the cave, chained by the shackles of education. From inside the cave, the skull, we perceive the outside world, to the exclusion of the inner worlds. As images of light pass through the eyes and manifest on the viewing screen of the soul, and we view it with our own mind's eye, soul is the puppeteer, casting forms on the viewing screen for our mind's eye to perceive and believe. The viewing screen is located between the two eyebrows in the center of the forehead. Some call it the eye single. The imagery appears out there in the blackness, about 1.5 feet away. People are in the dark recesses of their caves, watching their viewing screen of the soul, believing they are experiencing the only reality. They spend their entire life here, in the cave of their skull, watching forms on the screen, only because they cannot understand something they have yet to experience. People are so attached to this human form that they would rather peer at a screen in a cave, speculating on something they've read instead of learning how to leave the cave and investigate the other side. For not until one gets outside the cave and sees what really awaits one on the other side of death can you begin to understand what is reality and what is going on down here on the planet. Having no other experiences, we believe this is the only reality. It's time to question the reality that has been taught to us. Outside the cave, reality is more real and alive than anything in this world of death. To the inexperienced, such thoughts and ideas are overwhelming to their psyches, souls. It almost hurts to think about such things because most people have a limited understanding of the world in which they live, and so they turn away or turn on anyone who disturbs their beliefs. Proving the truth to their psyches is too much because they have never experienced anything else, and if so, taught to dismiss it or rationalize it away. Education can chain us inside the cave, where we reinforce each other's limited perceptions and beliefs, or education can set us free to experience what exists on the other side of this perceived reality. The original teaching challenges one's understanding of reality, challenge you to move outside the cave and experience what awaits each one of us on the other side of death. Come, learn how to experience life beyond the physical. Experience will change your life as you begin to see and experience reality beyond this world, which is a decomposing copy of the living reality on Other Earth. See our video, Other Earth. Reading and hearing about the other side is no substitute for seeing and experiencing the other side. Critical thinking and logical argument is no substitute for personal, first-hand experience. Trying to open the eyes of the people in the cave with philosophy does nothing but tickle their brains. Unto you it is given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God. Enter into thy closet, head, and shut the door, disconnect from the physical senses. Enter into the secret place of the Father, and thy Father shall reward thee. For in God the Father and Christ are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. There is nothing hid which shall not be made manifest and made known. That which is spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed from the housetops. Mark 4:11, Matthew 6:6, Colossians 2:3, Mark 4:22, and Luke 12:3. Warning: people find comfort in their ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. Cast not your pearls of knowledge and wisdom before swine, lest they turn on you. Try to tell someone who has spent their entire life living in a cave, chained to the things of this world, "Hey, you guys, you won't believe what I just experienced." And they will reply, "Sounds strange to me. You're talking nonsense. You sound like a nut. That's satanic," etc. Here in this YouTube channel, Original Teaching, we provide you with an opportunity to learn about and experience what exists beyond the physical. Experience brings transformation. Once you have direct, conscious, first-hand experiences outside the cave, there's no going back to your old beliefs. You cannot rejoin the unknowing populace. You're on your way to becoming born again of righteousness. Your ticket out of here and back to heaven on Other Earth. Esoteric knowledge you won't find anywhere else. Please share. Please hit the like button and take a moment to subscribe.